Welcome everybody, Mentor Monday. Mentor Monday is the beginning of great things to happen. Mentor Monday, we do it on Mondays. We chose this day for a specific reason. It's because Mondays, we have had a chance to stretch it out during Saturday and Sunday with the family. This weekend was holidays in Canada. In fact, today is still holiday in Canada. And so we start like slowing it down sometimes a little bit, and Mondays are time to reconnect. This is your host, Claudia Bohorquez from Canada, and today is Monday, April 10th, and our guest for today, Mr. Kevin Moore, Gold International of For Life, is going to talk to us about why For Life has the greatest tools. So first I want to introduce my co-host, Florence from Kenya. Florence, how are you today? Tell me, how was your week?
Hello, everybody. My name is Florence from Kenya. I'm so excited to be in this meeting today. I'm going to be a co-host with Claudia. I'm feeling very good. Last week it rained, and the Kenyan people has already like rains. They depend a lot on rain because they produce food using the rain. They don't normally do a lot of irrigation. And also they don't have a lot of greenhouses. So when it rains, they are very happy. And yesterday and today, it didn't rain. So people are when it rains, it becomes a bit cold. But yesterday and today, it didn't rain. So people are warm and they are very happy. So I would like to welcome everybody. I look forward to the talk from Kevin Moore. Thank you very much. Claudia, over to you.
Thank you. What a great conversation to know about another part of the world, because this is part of what I love about our business, that every day I learn something new from someone in another part in the world. So thank you for sharing, Florence. That is great. I do wish I can go to Kenya one day. And that gives us now opportunity to start learning. Grab your pens. This is going to be an exciting topic and please, lots of emojis, hearts, and claps for Mr. Kevin Moore. Thank you, Kevin. You got the mic.
Thank you, Claudia. Thank you, Florence. We're definitely a worldwide family here, because Florence is talking about how it's getting a little bit chilly with some rain in Kenya. And I've been complaining pretty much for 3 months because Utah has had the most snow in the history since they started keeping records of snowfall here in Utah, which was 1980. We have over 900 inches in the mountains right now. We've gotten snow just as recently as a couple days ago. And so, greatest snow on earth is what they call the snow here in Utah. And that proves that there can be too much of a great thing, because I'm done with the snow. I want to deal with some rain and some sunshine, but we've needed it. We've been in a drought here. So I want to talk a little bit today, first and foremost, about why For Life has the greatest tools. And to give you some perspective on that, wherever you're tuning in from, let me give you a little bit of my background and a little bit of my history, not only with For Life, but in this industry. As I mentioned, I live here in Utah. Now, why I think that that's kind of a crucial point to bring up is because I am about 15 minutes away from For Life's headquarters. I can get to For Life, the corporate worldwide headquarters, in about 15 minutes. And in that 15 minutes, I literally passed 5 or 6 other network marketing companies, their headquarters, some of the biggest network marketing companies in the world. There's over 50 different network marketing companies that are headquartered here in Utah. And so network marketing where I live is not that unusual. It's a normal part of daily life. And not so much just people who represent it as distributors or brand ambassadors or affiliates, but there's corporate entities everywhere here in Utah, headquarters of these big network marketing companies. I've been with For Life now for 25 years. And before I decided to join Dave and Gabriella Daughtry in building my own business and chasing my own dreams, I worked at the corporate office of For Life. And I did that for almost 7 years. And those 7 years taught me a lot about this industry. But one of the things that it taught me the most, because the last year that I worked at For Life, I was in what they called the director of premier sales. That was my position. One of the things that they would do is they would send me to other companies' conventions, other companies' events, other companies' seminars, because For Life realized that, you know, it's good to learn from other companies in the industry. And it's good to grow together with companies that are of like mind. So For Life is a part of the Direct Selling Association. And I would go to these other companies and I would take note. Now, let me tell you one thing that is very true about most companies in this industry. They don't have the tools and the online resources and just the assets that we have with For Life. And guess what? Most of the companies that do have that, guess what they do? They charge you for them. You know, there's a lot of companies out there, they charge you for your website. They charge you for apps. They charge you for their business suite. They give you a monthly charge. I've seen charges anywhere from $14.95 to $19.95 US dollars a month to $29.95 a month. Well, that seems a little bit counterproductive, doesn't it? It's one of the things I love about For Life is we're about together building people. For Life wants you to share the story of Transfer Factor. They don't want to charge you for the tools and the resources to share this great company and this great product. So it's very important that it doesn't matter how many tools that For Life has, do you know where the tools can be found? Do you know how to access the tools? So here's one of the things I want to do, Claudia, is I do want to have a little bit of a interaction here. Let me ask a question for those of you that are on video, or if you're off of video and you want to unmute yourself, where's the number one place that when you want to find some marketing material or an asset to share with somebody about For Life, where do you go? Where do you go? I want to throw it in the chat, unmute yourself, but where do you go when you have, you know, you want to share something about For Life with the prospect? Where do you go for that? Because that's what we need to do. We need to have these less like our app, J. Michael Smith, our app, For Life app. We got Bansi in Kenya. Yes, the app is a great place to start. So let me start off with that. I go to my app, then shop and share any product directly. Gabby knows it. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen here if I can. Tell me if this works when I do this, Claudia. Just do this. I'm going to share my screen. Can you see that now?
I can see a blue screen of your Apple or your phone, something.
If I go this, now you can see.
Perfect. Yeah.
You can see the app.
I can see your app.
So here is the back office. There's so many places to start, but as J. Michael, as Bansi in Kenya, and as Gabriella Daughtry, our Fearless Platinum, all pointed out, this is a great place to start. Now, I logged in to the app today into a position where I haven't done a lot on the app. I've done mostly when it comes to this position through our website, which is also a great wealth of information. If you go to forlife.com, you log in, there's a lot of information on your dashboard and in your back office there. But I want to show you a few things and just by means of navigation on where you can get a lot of great information. We know we've got the WhatsApp groups, right? We've got YouTube. YouTube is a great place to get For Life information. But let's start off with the app, okay? First and foremost, if you see that media library, if you push media library, I would suggest becoming very familiar with this. Okay, now, of course, it says United States up there in the top left-hand corner, because that's where I'm located. That's where I'm from. You can change the flag there. And by changing this flag, I'm going to change the information that's going to be available. You see that? And not only change it into Portuguese, which is great because now I'm in my native tongue, my native language, but also it's going to change the assets that are available for Brazil in this case. If I do the same thing, now I'm going to go and I'm going to say, you know what? Show me Spanish speaking United States. Now it's got it to me in Spanish, but the great thing is it's getting me the information in Espanol. So I'm going to go to Gold Factor here. Look how beautiful that is. The days of having to create your own marketing assets, and spending all of your precious time and energy in creating the tools and the resources are over. And trust me, I can relate to that. I can 100% relate to that, because when I chose to join Dave and Gabriella Daughtry as an independent representative of this company, and I decided, you know what, I love For Life. I want For Life to work for me and my goals, my family, my dreams. I don't want to just be an employee. I want to partner with this company and build something special, build an empire. When I first got started, do you know, that was 2005 when I became a distributor. In 2005, I can tell you this, we spent so much time in creating resources and assets in the material. Well, guess what? You know what you should be spending 90% of your time doing? Prospecting, sharing, building. You think about this. Dave Daughtry talks about the steps, the 4 steps to success in this industry. It starts off what? Prepare, prospect, identify, solidify. Well, do you know prepare is 1 step? If you're spending all of your time preparing your marketing assets, your tools, your resources, well, guess what? You're not getting to share, you're not getting to prospect, you're not getting to identify and solidify quickly enough. And guess what? The 1 step that doesn't actually pay you. It pays you indirectly, but doesn't pay you directly. The 1 step that doesn't pay you directly is prepare. Now you're going to get the fruits of your labor for prepare. There's a reason that Dave Daughtry, who's the most brilliant networker I've ever met, starts with prepare, because you can't share something that you don't know, right? You have to understand a little bit about this product, this company, the 64% payout plan, the ability to increase the natural killer cell 437% when it comes to Transfer Factor Plus. Also, you want to prepare with information like just recently, we got a study that shows that Transfer Factor is improving, educating, boosting your immune system, raising your immune IQ within 2 minutes of taking it. That's incredible. So it's important to prepare, but that's the 1 step that doesn't give you directly an opportunity to start getting paid. Prospecting, you get paid. When you identify, you get paid. When you solidify, you get paid. So when you're preparing the message and preparing the moment. Notice what I said, that prepare in the message. What's the message that you want to share? Well, here, if I want to lead with Gold Factor in Spanish here in the United States, I don't have to prepare the actual marketing material. I need to prepare in the message, and I need to prepare in the moment. I want you to repeat that to you over and over again. Prepare in the message, prepare in the moment. Prepare in the message, prepare in the moment. I don't need to prepare the marketing materials. For Life has done that for me. Now, what's preparing in the message? I'm going to stop my screen share here for a second, and I'm going to go back here really quick. I'm going to stop this one, and I want to talk about very quickly. I want to talk about what it means to prepare in the message. Okay, preparing the message does not mean that you need to know everything about For Life. Like if I brought Gabby on for a second here, and I was asking her about the products, she's a well just a spring of information when it comes to For Life products. But Gabby's also been with this company for 25 years. She's taken time and energy, and she has looked into everything that she needs to know about those For Life products. She's paid the dues to know about the product. She's got passion, and she spent the time and energy investing in herself. That's what Stephen R. Covey calls sharpening the saw. Okay, you will sharpen the saw. You're the best tool that For Life has. We've got the For Life app, we've got their social media accounts, we've got YouTube, but you are the most important tool, because if you don't sharpen your saw in preparing in the message, it doesn't matter, because here's what's going to happen. If you go to the For Life app and you pull up the marketing assets, and let's say you want to lead with Gold Factor, and you just take that Gold Factor marketing asset and you send it. I'm never suggesting this, but let's say you spam your entire contact list. I'm just going to send it to every single one of them, okay? And then let's say you get 15 or 20% that write back and say, hey, that marketing asset that you shared with me, that graphic about Gold Factor, I want to learn more. Well, now what? Do you know about Gold Factor? Do you know the important aspects that Gold Factor bring to your cellular health, to your optimal vitality? Do you know some of the studies on Gold Factor? You know, Gold Factor now is what? We're about 15, 16 months into the release of that product. David Lisenby, the founder of For Life, will tell you that Gold Factor is his second favorite product of all. I never thought I'd hear him say that, because he loved Ria Vita, he loved Right Start, but other than Transfer Factor Plus, and I think in some ways more than Transfer Factor Plus, Gold Factor is his baby. He just believes in the overall health it can provide for us. So here's the thing is, know about the product. Dave Daughtry always says something that Dave Daughtry has got a lot of pearls of wisdom, but one of the pearls of wisdom that he shared with me early on is he calls it paralysis by analysis. What does that mean? That means you can spend so much time in researching and in preparing that it actually makes it to where you're not moving, you're not talking, you're not sharing. It's in the sharing of the information that you're going to make money with this company. And one of the things, speaking of AI, Claudia is like, wait, what? Who's that talking in the background? That's actually my Google Home. That something I said inspired it. Claudia started off this meeting with talking about how we have artificial intelligence. Now we've got artificial intelligence that wants to chime in on my presentation right now and share its information. But here's you can get paralysis by analysis. I'm telling you right now, one of the most important things that Dave Daughtry ever taught me is you can spend too much time in the lab or the library. Think about that. And that includes your back office. You could spend so much time knowing where things are, understanding where the information, and it's important, that's part of prepare. But guess where the money is made? When you pound the pavement. Now that can be a virtual pavement. That means if you're sending out a message on the app, that can mean face-to-face, that can be in person or online, but you've got to share, okay? So make sure that you not only know where the information is, but that you're sharing it. So let's go back to the app for a second here. I want to bring this up. And I want to just spend just a couple more minutes on the app, okay? Let me go here. I mean, okay. Claudia, will you unmute yourself and just tell me, can you see that again? Am I back?
Perfect.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So here's what's great is there's so many different things that you can do with this app. Let's just go through just briefly. Obviously, this is a one-stop hub for your reports, for your shop, for your loyalty program, change into your accounts, for people signing up. You can import your contacts. You can have alerts, events, and recognition. Let's say that I want to find out where For Life's going to be. They just got done with a Ignite regional event in Sacramento, California, not too long ago. Well, I can come here and I can stay plugged in. Now, when I go from the app from this perspective, it's taking me to forlife.com, which is a great segue. It's important that you also are staying connected with the company through your desktop, okay? So let's go back here now. If I bring this up, I have my media library, achievements, my action list. See, now I have my own notes or my task or reminders that I have that pull up when it comes to my Mac and my phone. So I don't use this particular element. The reason I don't is because I've got something where my Apple products sync together. And I bring that up because not everything in this back office is going to be your best option. But there is a ton of information back here when it comes to your time capsule, which is going to give you a time log on different elements that you've done. Your health for life assessment. Who's taken this? You can get started here, come and take a full assessment where I can go through and literally, I'm going to tell you, I'm 46 years old here. I put 43. That must have been a nice slip of, but I can go through it, put all of my information in here. And this is fantastic because this is going to give me, a full assessment that I can at that point use for what products that For Life is going to actually, through my age, my gender, my height, my weight, some of the preconditioning genetic dispositions of my DNA, they're going to give me an assessment for supplementation for me. Do you know how remarkable that is, that we have that tool that we can use? So for sure, go take your For Life health assessment. That's another important thing. Let me bring up a few more tools here, and then I want to end with some principles. Have you subscribed to YouTube, the For Life's official account on YouTube? Please do so, because they've got a lot of great videos. Here's the great thing about the videos on YouTube as well. You can go and it's not only nostalgic, but it's still true. If you go and you pull up, you can find For Life videos on there on Transfer Factor Classic, Great Escape Trips from 20 years ago. You can see, American Medical Review. Remember that, Gabby? The American Medical Review with Morley Schaefer. But this was a guy that was doing 60 minutes, and he did an entire feature on Transfer Factor. You can still pull that up on YouTube. You can pull up a wealth of information. So there's great tools. Social media accounts. If you're here in the United States, are you part of the For Life Transform community? See, because these are tools that For Life has as well as, are you part of the field development group? Are you a part of the WhatsApp groups that your team has developed, that the corporate office has? But one of the things that you want to do is, if you want to be successful, if you want to rise in this company, together building people, what's together? You've got to be connected. Are you following For Life on Instagram? Are you following For Life on Facebook? Are you taking advantages of the For Life groups, support groups, communities, the WhatsApp groups, the Telegram groups? There's groups to be connected. We live in an information age where there is no reason not to be connected with For Life, okay? So here's my challenge to all of you. Go to forlife.com, log in, change it to where it has a flag that's representative of where you're doing business, where you're located, where you reside. But guess what? Don't just leave it to that. Pull up other flags. Find out what it looks like. If you've got business partners in Brazil, here's a great bit of homework, a challenge I would give you. Go and pull up the Brazil flag and see what it looks like for them. Get familiar with what your leaders are seeing. But also, if you're in an emerging market, go to forlife.com, pull up the American flag, and pull up all the resources that are applicable to you. Because the US flag, whether it's in English or whether it's in Spanish, has so much information. You can go and say, well, we have gold factor in this market. I'm going to download all of these assets and I'm going to use them here. I'm going to put them in my Telegram group. I'm going to put them in my WhatsApp group. I'm going to share the resources that For Life originates. I'm going to duplicate, but you've got to be connected. The US field development team where I'm located, they do Facebook Lives. I try to jump on, be connected. There's always a replay if I don't catch it live, but there's, you know, for so long in For Life, we had very few ways to really be connected. It was email, it was the occasional fax, it was a toll-free line. Now we can be connected through direct message, through social media, through the app, through the For Life tools. So if we're going to go back to Dave Daughtry's 4 steps, prepare, dive into the resources that are at your fingertips with this company. They don't charge you to have a website, an e-commerce site. My shop is the best experience I've seen in this industry when it comes to e-commerce. For Life doesn't charge you anything to have a My Shop. Their app, you know, at one point, that's improved even over the last year, ladies and gentlemen. That's the thing that's amazing to me. A year ago, it was through a third-party company. You had to go to a different app. And that app they were a good company. People know Sound Concepts here in Utah. But guess what? Sound Concepts is one of those cookie cutter type of companies. So they want to tell you, here's what we do. Now let's see how your company fits into what we do, this template, right? Well, guess what For Life said? We want to be custom. We want to be fully integrated. We want to have the power to share what is For Life specific. So For Life went out and did their own app. When I heard they were going to do that, I was worried. I was like, oh, they can't do that and not pass the cost on to us. We're going to have to pay $9.95 a month now, because in order to have that kind of functionality and those kind of features, For Life was going to have to pass it on to us. They did not. They absorbed that cost. And now if you have the For Life app, if you go to forlife.com and log in, you've got so many tools and so much information. You know, let me ask Claudia this. Claudia, let me have you unmute yourself. I'm going to ask you a quick question, Claudia. In the back office with all the reports, because there's a lot of reports now, how many reports do you pull up monthly? Like out of all those reports, what are the reports? How many do you pull up each and every month?
2 or 3 max.
You know what? I was talking to somebody in the industry about that the other day, and she was lamenting the fact that her company has about 4 or 5 reports, none of them which really show what she needs to see. And I said, I don't have that problem. I said, I could pull up the target rank, and that target rank report by itself is the best report I have ever seen in this industry. That one report, I pull up that report every day, because it's not only great for where you are, but where you want to be. You're going to hear me quote Dave Daughtry a lot today, because he's my mentor, the guy that taught me everything I know. But he used to say a lot. He used to say, you can't meet what you can't measure. If you want to meet it, you have to be able to measure it. You have to be able to see it, set a goal, and then know that your daily method of operation, what we call IPAs, right? Income producing activities, because they always used to say, when Dave would call up and I was his rep at For Life, I was his premier sales rep, he would call up and guess what he would say? He'd say, Kev, can I get a printout of my genealogy? And I used to, at the end of that, I used to feel bad. I'm like, how many trees are we killing to send Dave his printout? Because Dave's printout was like this. This thing looked like an encyclopedia. And then guess what I had to do with that encyclopedia printout of his report? I had to go over to the fax machine and feed it one by one for Dave to get his actual genealogy. How spoiled are we, right? If we want our genealogy report, we want our target rank report. There's so many reports. I'm going to be honest with you. 4Life's top 4 reports are the best reports I've ever seen. I don't really get into the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th report. They're there, but I don't really even venture into that water because their 4 top reports are so good. I mean, they tell me everything I need to see. They tell me last month who in my organization had their loyalty rewards program. Maybe their credit card was a problem. I can find that out. And it goes back to this. If you treat this business like a hobby, you're going to get hobby results. And hobby results are like what we want on the weekend, right? Hobbies like I was tinkering with some sort of, model ship that I'm putting together. Eventually I tinker with that model ship enough that I have a ship and I get some sort of reward for my efforts. But hobbies aren't really life-changing events. They don't produce life-changing type of scenarios for you and your family and whatever your goals are. But if you want this to be a business that produces business type results, you have to treat it like a business, which means you need to pull up your reports, set goals. What kind of goals? SMART goals, right? Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and most important, time bound. Because it's not just like, hey, I see Gabrielle Gachara, I want to be a platinum. Well, guess what? I want to be a platinum when? Next week? Might not be attainable, might not be realistic. But now if I say to myself, hey, I'm sitting right now at bronze or silver, and I want to be a platinum in 4 years. And here's what I'm going to do to get there. And I'm going to write it down, because if you don't write it down, it's just a wish, right? A wish is something we could do when we blow out candles on a cake or we see a falling star, right? Those things don't really require a plan. But in this business, you have to plan to work, but you have to work your plan, which means sit down, write out your goals, and 4life.com, when you log in, the app, I promise you, there's not a goal that you can establish that's about working this business that we don't have the resources or the tools to help your goals become smart, help them become measurable. Okay. If I want, even now, guys, have you heard the news now? I mean, even with our great escape trips, right? Like, you think I don't have a little bit of fire lit under me? Guess what, guys? I've been on 7 all expense paid trips since I became an affiliate with 4Life. I went on one as a presidential, again, another one as a presidential, when I went international, all the way up to a gold getaway. Well, I'm a ways away from platinum. So my next one would be a platinum pinnacle. It's a big step. But guess what now? I can go and earn a great escape trip. All I got to do is I've got to make a plan. I've got to set a goal, and I've got to work the plan. So that's what I want to end with. You've heard me say this before, but this is probably about one of the few things that I didn't hear from Dave Daughtry. So write that down, right? Because most of the things I quote today are Dave Daughtry. And I'm sure Dave Daughtry knows this rule as well as anybody. Dave Daughtry's probably sat next to this guy in meetings. But let's talk a little bit about what John C. Maxwell calls the rule of 5. Okay, because the rule of 5 is very applicable with the tools that 4Life has to offer too. So what's the rule of 5? The rule of 5 is basically this. I can have one of these huge redwood, like sequoia type trees here in my backyard, right? Those are the type of trees. I don't know if you've ever been in Northern California, but those are the type of trees that what they do is they barrel out a tunnel to drive their highways through. So these trees are so big that they can fit cars through the base. These are huge trees. They're one of the wonders of the world if you've ever been to a redwood forest. These trees, we don't make those trees like that here in Utah. We've got mountains, we've got some outdoors, some wilderness. We don't have trees like they have in Northern California with these redwoods. So imagine that tree growing in your backyard, wherever you're tuning in from, whether it's Canada or Kenya or here in Utah or Texas, wherever you're tuning in. Imagine one of those trees in your backyard, and then somebody hands you, and here's the key, a sharp axe, and they say, hey, go cut down that tree. That's a tree that a car can drive through the base. It's intimidating, right? And if I see it for just the result of chopping down that tree, it might be some paralysis analysis, right? I might actually be so intimidated that I don't swing. But here's the thing I want you to marry yourself to. Marry yourself to the process, okay? Divorce yourself from the results for a second. Now you've got to have a goal of where you want to go and where you want to be and what you want to obtain, but divorce yourself from that for a second and just say, you know what? That doesn't matter right now, because in order to get there, I've got to do something every single day, those 5 things, okay? So in this rule of 5, rather than saying that tree's so big that I'm just going to try to get it to timber, right? Fall down. I don't know how long that's going to take, but here's one guaranteed truth. If I swing a sharp axe every single day, 5 times a day, it will fall. That big boy is going to fall. It might take 6 months. It might take 6 years, but it is literally impossible that if I take it 5 times and I take a sharp axe, and now what's going to happen? Is it going to dull my axe if I swing it 5 times every day for a month? Is my axe going to eventually be a little bit dull? Of course. What do I got to do, right? I've got to continue to sharpen the saw. That's where 4Life Tools come in, okay? We are an evolving company. We are just as advanced and evolutionary as the molecule that we represent. If I showed you 4Life 20 years ago, you'd be like, whoa, we look better in our presentation. We've got better labels on our bottles. We've got a better website. We've got better tools. We've got better executives. We've got more opportunity, more markets. We are like a living, I mean, it's good that we have life in the name because we have grown and progressed and matured. So when you go out and you swing that axe 5 times every day, you work your business, 5 things every day that you're going to do for your business. I don't care if you're full-time with 4Life, if you're big time like Dave and Gabriella Daughtry. Dave and Gabriella Daughtry still do at least 5 things every single day. Dave wrote me yesterday, Easter Sunday. So even on Easter Sunday, still 5 things. What about Christmas, Kevin? 5 things. Maybe those 5 things are a little bit different. Maybe one of your 5 things is, I'm going to always express gratitude. Can you express gratitude on Christmas and Easter? Of course you can. So you can do your 5 things every day. When John C. Maxwell was asked about how he wrote over 100 books, guess what he said? 1 word at a time. He wrote 100 books, but he started 1 word at a time. People say, well, you know, you write every day. He said, every day. That's one of my 5 things. Every day I write. Well, what about on your birthday? Every day. Well, what about on the weekends? Every day. Your 5 things don't have to be a 24-hour thing. They can be something that every day, because guess what? Mind over matter. It takes us 21 days to actually do something every single day where it starts to become a habit. Have you ever tried to break a habit? Does it take more than 21 days? A lot of times it takes way longer to break a habit than to develop one, right? So every single day, get yourself in the habit of, okay, here are the 5 things I'm going to do. Now, I would suggest, based on our theme today, that one of those 5 things is every single day, pull up our tools, pull up the app. Say, I'm going to do one thing on that app every day. Today, I'm going to go finish my health assessment. I probably got stuck into the fact that I'm just taking the 4 Life supplements that I've learned to love forever, right? Well, maybe there's going to be something to that health assessment that says, hey, Kevin, there's more than just the energy sticks, the Pro TF, the right start for men. You should be taking, the cardio, or I'm gonna learn something because I'm going to make it a point of emphasis. But every single day, pull up the app, pull up your dashboard. And if you do that as one of your rule of 5 things, I think it'd be a great thing for your business. Because here's what I'll end it with. We'll talk about Florence a second, because she's in Kenya, our co-host today. When you're in Kenya, I went there with my good friend, my brother, Dr. Ojina. And the first day I got there, we were taking like a 2.5-week trip. We were going all throughout Kenya's countryside. And the first day we were there in Nakuru, and he said, Kevin, he said, I'm going to take you to a safari first. Because, you work hard, you play hard, right? We knew that we had about 3 weeks of going and doing and spreading the good news of 4 Life to the lovely people of Kenya. He said, very first day, I'm going to take you to a safari. And we went, we saw elephants, and we saw lions, and we saw hippos. They call them the big 5, right? Rhinos. We saw all the big 5. It was amazing. I think I probably filled up my iPhone with video. I don't think I had any more space. I took so much video because it was amazing for me as a small town Utah boy to see all this in Kenya, this beautiful outdoors and this wildlife. And I remember that whole time we saw elephants like 2 or 3 times. We were very, very fortunate. Guess what the elephant never did? It never bit us. I never had to worry about the elephant biting me. But guess what bit me like 20 times? Mosquitoes. The same thing for your business, okay? The same thing for your business. It's not the elephant that bites. It's the mosquitoes that bites. The small day-to-day things are what actually bites for your business. If you're expecting this one elephant thing where you pull up a tool, you share it that one time, and all of a sudden, Gary Vee or Zig Ziglar comes back from the dead and he joins your organization, or Tony Robbins signs up, and all of a sudden that just your business is forever taken care of because of that one monumental thing that you did. That's the problem with people. It's life. It's 4 Life. People are looking for this miracle. They're looking for this lightning striking and this tree falling in half and this sign. That's not how this business is built. I've watched Dave and Gabriella Daughtry do it from ground zero. And guess what they've done? They've consistently done the things that they ask us to do. They prepare, they prospect, they identify, they solidify, and they repeat. You got to go out, you got to talk to people. Guess what? When you talk to people like a mosquito, you're talking every single day, you're going to find that person that's going to have an elephant impact on your business. But if you think this elephant moment of, I'm going to show up one day and do something very big, and that grand action that one day is going to forever change my business, the odds are not in your favor. Work the law of average. The law of average is if I show up every day and I marry myself to that process of using these tools, which 4 Life has given us, sharing something on that app every day, diving in to a new study, a new YouTube video, reading through the thread of the WhatsApp groups, but sharpening the saw every day. Well, guess what? You do something every day 5 times. So here's my challenge that I'll end with you. Find 5 things, because your 5 things are different than my 5 things. Okay. Your 5 things, depending on where you are in your 4 Life progression, in your 4 Life journey, that's safari, right? Safari and journey mean the same thing. If wherever you are in your 4 Life safari, in your 4 Life journey, I would tell you to do this. Make it about you. Your 5 things every day will change. They're going to change. Okay. Some of them are going to stay the same. I'll tell you one thing that has never changed for me, no matter what rank. I've got to open my mouth. Every day I set a goal to talk to somebody new about For Life. Somebody new is the key, because we can become creatures of habit, right? Where we jump on the same WhatsApp group or we get on the same Zoom call and we see the same people. We got to have new people. Listen, this company is a legacy company. Been around for 25 years. It's going to be around for another 25. But I will tell you a stat in this industry. There's a stat that basically says if in this industry, 30% of the people are coming, 30% are going, and 30% are staying. The other 10% is room for error. That's margin. Well, if 30% are going and 30% are coming and 30% are staying, if you're one of the 30% staying, if you're not helping 30% come, then 30% potentially going, attrition, guess what's going to happen to your business? For Life's going to continue to move forward. Your organization is probably going to shrink, and you're going to show up to a convention and say, looks like this company is doing as well, if not better than ever. Why is my organization not following the pattern? That's where you assess. Am I bringing 30% in? You can get to a point of passive residual income with this company where you can put on the cruise control and you can ride into the sunset. But I will tell you this, I'm grateful Dave Daughtry hasn't chosen to do that. He's still helping us with our 5 daily actions every single day, right? But the key is, in order to get to that passive residual income, you've got to build a foundation. And the best way to build a foundation is rule of 5. What are the 5 things you're going to do every single day? And they don't all have to be tangible. They don't all have to be tangible. What I mean by that is one of the 5 things I try to do every day is I believe there's a law of attraction that's directly attached to gratitude. And so one of the 5 things I do every day is I find someone or somebody in my organization, upline, crossline, at the home office of For Life, but somebody just to express sincere congratulations to. So that doesn't really show up on my report. That shows up in my rapport. Does that make sense? In my interaction, my relationship, and it shows up in my mind's eye. My vision is gratitude makes what you have enough. If you don't have gratitude, you're never going to get to a point where it's enough. If you have gratitude, what you have today is enough while you build and while you pursue more. So one of my 5 things I do every day is I show gratitude to someone. Others need to be tangible. Like one of the things about our tools, pull up the For Life app. If you just pull up the For Life app, that's good. But just like in anything else, there's a better and a best, right? Better is you pull up the app, you go through the menu, you become very familiar with some of the features. You take the health assessment test, but even the health assessment test is better. You know what best is? Best is IPAs, income producing activities. So what can I do on the For Life app to build my business, to bring 30% that's coming in to my organization, to tell somebody who's never heard of transfer factor about this amazing molecule that raises your immune IQ? How can I reach out to somebody who's either unemployed or what's becoming a pandemic in America, underemployed, right? You have a job, it's just not enough to make the ends meet. There's too much month at the end of the money, right? Underemployed is a severe problem here where I live in Utah. Well, guess what? We've got the solution to a deficit in immune system or a deficit in bank account. But I've got to reach out and talk to people. And guess what? The For Life app is the best way to do it. Claudia will shake her head vigorously. She'll have to do a Flex for Life and a Renuvo. She's going to shake her head yes so much to this. But I'm not good at responding to WhatsApp. Okay, because I have so many notifications that I get lost in WhatsApp. Okay, I'm like, oh, wait, and I'm even trying to do with Southeast Asian now. I'm trying to keep up with the Brazil team, the African team, the English speaking team. I'm horrible. But here's the thing about the For Life app. The For Life app is you can send it to how your recipient needs it. See, because we still got people, believe it or not, that, hey, I'm an email person. Shoot me that information in email. I do better on email. Direct message, text messaging, right? You've got all the ways to send it in the For Life app. You can send it through social media direct messaging. So that's the great thing about it is we have to be, it's like Dave Daughtry's training on the colors, right? He talks about the red personalities, the blue personalities, yellow personalities, being more emotional. He talks about the different characteristics and traits associated with the colors. And then what does he say at the very end? Does anybody remember? What does Dave say? What color do we need to be as For Life leaders? Anybody know? Raise your hand, put it in the chat. What color do we need to be? Do we need to be red personalities? The rainbow. Thank you, Anna. Anna's always great at she's a wealth of information. She's put in the 5 daily steps. You see her in the meetings, you got to show up to grow up. She shows up, okay? The rainbow. And that's the thing is that's the same with our communication with the tools. We've got to be a little bit of the rainbow. If we're just trying to do one app or one platform, well, guess what? We might be missing some people. Like my kids, I had to get a Snapchat account. I'm not too old or too proud, but I have a Snapchat account. You want to know why? Because my kids, I can't even get them to barely answer a text message anymore. All they do is snap. So, hey, Dad, snap me your location. What? I had to learn, some old dog had to learn some new tricks because Snapchat is not my thing, but I have it because it's the best way to communicate with my 18 and my 17-year-old. When it comes to when they're gone and they have their cell phones. We've got to be flexible. We've got to be the rainbow. But in order to be the rainbow, we got to learn the different colors, not only personalities, but the different methodology and the different ways of reaching out to those people. So that's the challenge I leave with you. With your 5 daily things, the mosquitoes bite, not the elephant. Become familiar with, if you're not following For Life on social media, do so. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, join their Facebook communities and groups, but plug into that app because forlife.com and that app, man, I mean, Dave and I, sometimes we'll get nostalgic. We'll talk about daisy chain emails and fax on demand lines and stuff like that. We're in the best age ever. The globe is shrunk, communication is increased, and there's 8 billion people on this planet, and we've got 1 million people that have joined For Life at one point in some capacity. That means that the water is blue and wide open, right? There's a lot of people that need to hear about this company. We have better tools and resources than ever before to do that. So thank you so much for spending some time with me on this Monday. I truly appreciate it. It's always good to see you and spend time with you. And I'm going to turn the time back over to Claudia.
Woo! Wow, Kevin, take a breath. I think he was trying to get so much information to us that at the end he was running out of air. It was so good, Kevin. It was so good. I'm sorry we took so much time from the beginning because I could hear him talk for another hour. I know all of you do. So Florence, I actually want Gabby to give us her 5 cents of this topic. But I also want to obviously honor my co-host and ask her, what was the best takeaway? I have so many in my notes. If you ask me, I couldn't choose. He gave us so much. It's like a buffet. I don't even know where to start. There's so many good things that he talked about. But if you could choose one takeaway, and I want everybody on the chat to write me their one takeaway they have from today's teaching. So write your takeaway. And yes, you can write the appreciation, but I know that Kevin will appreciate even more if you write him the one takeaway that you took from his training. Florence, what was your takeaway?
that it's not the big thing that bites, it's a small thing. He was not bitten by the elephant, but by the mosquitoes.
I think that's the one I also, and you know why, Florence? For me, it's because of the way that he vividly told the story. And as he says, our great mentor, Dave, and him, he's my mentor, Kevin. It's always about storytelling. And he just drew us so well into that picture. And we're just getting so excited about the whole safari thing. And then he throws in the mosquito. And I was like, wow, that's genius. It's the small. And I like the red cedar wood. I think everything that he was very descriptive was just really good and vivid in my mind. He has a really good way of doing this. So thank you, Kevin. And I want to ask Gabby, and I know we're over the time, so if you need to go, don't feel like bad about stepping out. You have lunch, you have other meetings, but just give us 3 or 4 more minutes before we close, because I want to ask Gabby a little bit about either what was her takeaway, or she wants to give us her 5 cents into this. What do you think, my beautiful friend?
Thank you, Claudia. Thank you, Kevin. I always enjoy Kevin. He's a knowledge. He has a lot of knowledge. He's a great presenter, networker, leader, mentor. I believe Kevin is underrated. So we gotta hear more from Kevin, to tell you the truth, because I love hearing him. I really do. I enjoy. He's so, like in high school, we'd say he's so smart. We always say that, and oh my gosh, he's going to be valedictorian someday. But it's what I liked about basically, yes, we need to learn how to use our app. Okay, I'm going to tell you a quick story. So I went to go get my nails done in a pedicure. The lady gives me a really good price. So I decided to go ahead and get a pedicure because I had an ingrown toenail on my big toe. And so I told the lady that was doing my pedicure, oh gosh, I wasn't planning on getting a pedicure, so I didn't shave my legs this morning. And she's like, oh, don't worry about it. And I go, it's because I drink this collagen every day, and this collagen makes my nails grow. It makes my hair grow, like on my legs, more faster, actually. I have to shave every day. That's kind of the side effects of having a good source of collagen. And she's like, you have a collagen? Because I buy mine from Costco. And what's so different about yours? So, we do here in the US, we have 2 types of collagen, right? We have type 1, and then we have our original, which is a flavored one, which that one has the 5 types of collagen. Plus, on top of that, it has all your vitamins for absorption, because you do need vitamins to absorb, like vitamin C, E, to absorb collagen. If you do not take those vitamins when you're drinking your collagen, you don't absorb 100% of it. So she got all excited, and I took out my phone in my app, and I asked her for her phone number, and she gave it to me, and I said, okay, I'm going to send you information, and next time I come, I'm going to bring you a sample. And she goes, how much is it? And I told her how much it was, and she goes, well, when you bring me the sample, bring me a box, I'll buy it. And this is at a nail salon. So on my little head, I thought, I'm going to make a bunch of samples for every single person that works there and the customers. And I'm just going to hand them out like candy. You just never know. Okay. But before I do that, I have to do a little work. I have to print out a bunch of QR codes so I can slap them on my sample, and with instruction say, buy from my store directly. See, this is a QR code on my samples of collagen. And you have to think outside the box, okay? And we'll probably do another training for those of you that don't know how to access a QR code from your store, because it's in your app, personalized to you, okay? And for those countries that don't have a corporate office, you can still use your R code for information, because in some cases you don't have a corporate office fulfilling that order. But for us here that we're so lucky in the US, this is the way to do it. It comes straight to their door, and if they buy more than $100 in the US, it's free shipping. And you need to mention that to your customers. Free shipping if you buy more than $100. Or if you want to share the cost with a friend, you can do that too and combine your orders. But just talk to people, utilize your app. And if you do not know how to use your app, we can do a training on that. Just let us know. We want you to grow your business. It's already, today's the 10th of April already. Wow, this month's going by so fast. But I mean, I love our app, and it is a very good app, personalized to every distributor around the world. And it doesn't cost us really anything other than our sign-up fee, and just becoming a distributor. So that's a great selling point when you're trying to present this opportunity to your prospects. So practice using your app. If that means you practice with your upline, with your kids, obviously you do have to have a distributor number to have an app, but practice with your affiliates and have fun with it. You know, like Kevin says, utilize the videos, all the content there is to share from you to your prospects and affiliates. Have a training within your circle too on the app for those of you that do know how to use it, and have a good talk monthly with your affiliates and said, okay, we need to learn how to use this app. What would you guys like to learn? So pinpoint the weaknesses in your circle of influence and help each other with that. So we love and appreciate all of you, and let's just share the opportunity and the products. We love you. Back to you, Claudia. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so just to answer the question that we have from Jesus, I think you speak Spanish. I actually have Gabby's training on our new AIM YouTube channel. We've done about 4 of them, but I put one for now on how she taught us how to do the QR codes, which again, it's a topic that we're going to continue because people keep just asking that same question. So I told Gabby, we're going to go back and do it again. So don't worry, we will also do it again, but not this month, because this month we already have the theme and topics for Mentor Monday. And what we can do is maybe I'll ask Gabby to organize a special training for like interactive training for those in English who want to learn how to do those labels with the QR, because let me tell you, and just to finish up, my sister had an event, and it was an event with a lot of young people. It was an event that she felt that she was the oldest person, but she was very prepared, and thanks to Gabby's training, that's why I said to her, make sure that you send Gabby everything you did. She didn't get her banner on time because it was last minute, and then she didn't get her cards on time. So what she did was printouts of our infographic, but she put at the bottom something that Gabby had taught us, which is the QR. And she sat there, and her feeling was, I felt modern. Like there was a lot of young women, and I was the older woman, but I felt young because I had the QR code. Everything looked perfect and professional. And so follow all of Gabby's trainings and everything we learned, because like Kevin said, like use the infographic, plug into what Gabby has been teaching us, because she said that she was able to hand those out, and she prepared it in literally less than a week, but she felt prepared just because she looked professional, had the tools. Then her labels came. Now she feels even better because she feels that she's giving her sample, and now she's got the QR code in it. So again, we'll go back to that training. Today, we're done for today. Don't forget Health Talk tomorrow with Dr. Gina. Check the calendar for that. And one more thing I was forgetting, which was, don't forget for this side, not for Africa, but for this side, tomorrow, we're going to have a presentation in the evening on colostrum versus transfer factor. which Gabi and I are going to have in Spanish today. But for English speakers, if you have somebody, Trisha, for those members that you have in this side, Tuesday training is going to be product, and Wednesday business opportunity. So that's all. Any questions? How can I get the sticker? So Jesus, it's avery.com. You just go to the label and then again, just go to the training. I don't think I have any more questions. So thank you, everybody. Have a great, great Monday. And Kevin, thank you so much. Thank you so much for all you do. Gabi, thank you so much for all the tips. And to all of you in Kenya, have a great night, peaceful sleep. And for all of us in this side, let's keep working because it's today's still early. Thank you, Anna in Colombia. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye, everybody. You can unmute. I don't know how to unmute you, but you can say hi and wave because I'm not really sure how to unmute. I might need Anna. I have an Apple now that I don't know how to use, so I get stuck in the meetings. So, okay, very good. Good night, everybody, and good afternoon for those on this side. Bye-bye. Gabi, thank you. See you
Bye.
later. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.